Warning, there are profanity, topics, and other opinions that could offend you. Please watch and or listen at your own risk, and enjoy the show. Hey guys, what's up? Here, RDiK, to everyone to call me, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Voidcast, where no topic is off the table. Now we got some things we're going to talk about, like my phone being on. So we're going to just turn that off real quick. We'll put it on mute, just so it doesn't go off. But yeah, so first of all, I haven't uploaded an episode in about a month. It's kind of turning into like a monthly thing. I don't want it to be a monthly thing. I really do want to go back to weekly things. It's either I'll have time to record but not edit and upload, because like I'll have the time like right before, like say my girlfriend's coming to pick me up, or like it'll be late at night when I come home at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night from her house, and like I'll have time to record, and then I get done with recording and I'm just too tired to want to edit and upload. And I'll be like, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow never comes. So it's one of those things that's really annoying, and I need to get myself on a regular record, edit, and upload schedule, like I was before, like a year ago. Actually, it wasn't even a year ago, it was actually maybe like 6 months ago that I was on a regular upload, or record, upload. But you know what I'm saying. I was on a regular schedule where it was getting done weekly, and I didn't feel rushed. I mean, every once in a while I did get rushed, like just because like work extended a little late, and I had something planned to do that day after work, so I wouldn't have the time to do it, or I wouldn't have the time, so I'd be doing it like hella like late. Like I used to do record the podcast and record a Yu-Gi-Oh! Something for Yu-Gi-Oh! And something, and like a gameplay thing for some gameplay, because I would record something gameplay wise, and like, you know, obviously I'd, like, you know, like a playthrough or something like that, and then I just use that as my footage for YouTube. But I don't know, it's just become, I've just been really busy, to be honest. I've just been really busy with everything else, with my life, that I just haven't had the time. And like I've recorded maybe 2 episodes. One episode I did actually record, but again, like I said, I recorded it late at night when I got home, because hey, I was like, I'll record an episode real quick and upload it, and then I recorded it, got tired, blah blah blah, and then I recorded another episode like the following week, and I apologized in that episode, saying like, oh man, I'm sorry, it was recorded and blah blah blah. But then some things happened, like towards the end of the recording, just like some personal stuff happened, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna end the episode early. Just like, I don't know, it was really, I got that personal stuff all solved out. But yeah, anyways, so I got some things I'm gonna talk about since I haven't recorded an episode in like about a month. I want to talk about some Monster Hunter. So I'm gonna talk about some Monster Hunter Generations. Like I've played enough of it. I've played plenty of it to be able to talk about it, and like I also have some comparisons, because I've been like, I hadn't gone back and played World until last night. So I played some World with some friends last night. We didn't complete a single fucking quest, and that's just due to the fact of like, one person's really good at the game, who I was playing with last night. They're really good at the game, and it's James. Like he's been in my vlogs. Yeah, James, he's really good at World. It's just like he's got good armor and everything like that. He's had the time to actually play the game. And then I kind of stopped playing the game for a while, and so then I like hadn't beat the game, and then I beat it on stream like about a month ago. I had beat it on stream, and then I hadn't touched it since till last night. So I got some really big like comparisons now that like I've played Generations, like a shit ton of it, Generations, and now that I have excuse me, and now I've played the both like probably damn near like within the same day. I do have like some thoughts, and I've been sitting on these thoughts for a while. I had some like initial comparisons in like a previous episode that I recorded, just didn't upload, but now that I've actually played them like within like the same like hour of each other, I do have some like actual new thoughts and some new things I want to just like that I now have off the top of my head. And then also, we're going to talk about some Nintendo Direct stuff, just because there's a couple things about the Nintendo Direct, because we recently had a Nintendo Direct on the 13th, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was the 13th. It was 13th, September 13th, 2018. We had the Nintendo Direct, and it got me hyped for a lot of things. So we're going to touch on that after Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter, I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. I don't know, I'll probably talk about Nintendo, well, I kind of want to say Nintendo Direct. Anyways, we'll be talking about Monster Hunter Generations, and my official thoughts about it, and this will be the episode that will go up. And then we're going to talk about the recent Nintendo Direct. But first, as always, we always like to talk about just personal things that have just been going on, just to give us that little connect. Because when I listen to podcasts on my own, I love hearing the personal stories and the personal just everything that just happens and, like, that they want to share. So that's what I always like to do with my podcast before I actually go into the news and the stuff that I want to talk about, like the actual topics. So yeah, I've got some things coming up. I got some actually fun things coming up. Me and my girlfriend, we celebrated 6 months a couple weeks ago. That was pretty cool. We went out to dinner. She got me this amazing Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask wallet. I fucking love it. And she wrote me a nice note, like a 3-page letter. It was really sweet. And then she took some pictures, took a picture of every month of us and put it in the wallet. So it was really cool. And I keep the first month that we were together in the wallet. It was a really, really sweet, thoughtful gift, and I love it. And then I got her, because I'm gonna be completely honest, and if she listens to this, she already knows this. I didn't know what the fuck to get her. So I didn't. I had no idea what to get her. So, like, literally the day that we were gonna celebrate it, because our 6 months, I had to work, because I do double shifts on Thursdays. And on our 6 months landed on a Thursday, so we couldn't actually spend it together because I had to work literally all day. I had maybe 2 hours 2 hours free, but I usually take those 2 hours to take a nap because I work late as hell on Thursday nights. So yeah, I needed that time to sleep. So like I said, we couldn't spend any time together on our actual 6 months. So we celebrated on Friday, the day after our 6 months. But yeah, no, I had no idea what the fuck to get her. I was gonna do like this cute coffee thing. I was gonna get her like a bunch of like coffee mugs that remind me of her, and then like put like a different flavor of coffee in it. But she doesn't drink coffee at home, so yeah, I couldn't do that. So I had come up with something else. She had mentioned that she's been looking for a phone case that she just wants. She's bought 2 different phone cases now for her phone, and she hasn't been like 100% happy with them. So I was like, I'll find her a nice ass phone case. And then she also mentioned she wanted a pop socket, because before she had the case, she had a pop socket on it. But then the first case she bought, it wouldn't go on there, like it was rigid. So, oh my god, yeah. So she couldn't put the actual pop socket on it to where it would stick. So she had mentioned she'd wanted a pop socket. So I went and found her a couple of pop sockets that just remind me of her, and then I went out and bought her a nice ass phone case, and then I fucked up. I realized that the phone case, she has the XL version of her phone, and I didn't buy the XL version case, so we had to go back, return the case, and then we went looking around, and the only XL case they had was just like this like simple clear case, and she didn't want like a simple clear case, so we didn't get that one. But as soon as she does find a case, I told her to send me a link, or wherever, point it out to me, whatever, and I'll buy it for her. Like it's happening. Like I still want to get her a really nice case. She likes the pop sockets, and then also literally last minute, I live like 5 minutes, 5-minute walk from Walgreens. So I ran from my house to Walgreens last minute, got a nice bag for her, like gift bag, got some nice tissue paper for her, and then also last minute I decided to just take every picture of me and her and a couple of others of like just pictures of her that I really like, and then pictures of me that just, I know she'll get a laugh out of it because I just look dumb and goofy. So I put them all together in a slideshow, and then I made a playlist of all the songs that just remind, well, not all of them, but a majority of the songs that remind me of her. I haven't finished the playlist yet, but I still want to finish it. I'm slowly adding songs to it. But yeah, so I made, and I did it. She loved the slideshow and the playlist because she had said no one had ever done that for her. So I felt really special doing that. I made her smile really, really hard from that, even though the case thing didn't really work out all that well. But she still loves the idea. She really liked it because I'd literally gone to 3 different fucking stores before I finally came up with something. And then I also found a coffee mug for her that, like, it says Libra on there because she's a Libra. And it says charming and impatient on it. And I was like, yep, that's her. She's very charming and she's very impatient. I love her, but she's very impatient. So I was like, that coffee cup is her. That's her. That coffee cup is her. So yeah, she, like I said, our 6 months was great. We went out to eat. We went to Miller's Ale House, and that was really good. The food was great. So yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. It was a good 6 months. And I know some people might think like, oh, it's only 6 months, blah blah blah. But we just wanted to celebrate something. Like, we wanted to celebrate. Hey, we made it halfway through the year. We made it. It was like a halfway point. So we wanted to do a little something, and we did do a little something, and we loved it, and we had a good time, and that's all that really matters. But moving on, and before we jump into it, like I always do, I always like to give a huge shout out to audioboom.com. Even though they're not my sponsor, I always give them a huge shout out because I love them as a company. They're just an amazing company. They even though I'm also only on the lowest tier, which is only $10 a month, and they give me the tools to do whatever I want with the stuff. So I can upload the podcast to their website. I can upload the podcast, or they give me the tools to upload the podcast everywhere else, like Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, anywhere else you can think a podcast would be, except for SoundCloud. Like that, I would have to individually go up and upload myself. But either way, I have the tools to upload to everywhere else, and I love it. And they are an amazing website, and I will forever give them a shout out. Even if the podcast never goes anywhere and just stays to a small hobby and a small hobby of mine where I get like a little bit of views like I do now, I will still forever give them a shout out because I know the small, very small audience I have, I might inspire someone in there. Or who knows, if the podcast picks up out of nowhere, I might inspire someone like someone else did. Like the 8-Bit Geek, they inspired me to try Audioboom because I had only been uploading to like YouTube, and I was gonna try SoundCloud, but I wasn't really feeling SoundCloud. But Audioboom, I learned about Audioboom from the 8-Bit Geek, and yeah, so I'm happy with what I did because now that I'm on Audioboom, I'm getting more traffic. Like, I'm getting way more traffic than I did on YouTube. Like, with YouTube, it took me a little bit of time to actually gain, like, to hit that 50 view mark. But with Audioboom, I'm getting a lot more traffic really fast. But that's it. Enough shilling of Audioboom. I'm going to get into the podcast. And the reason why you're here. So, Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate, it came out August 28th, right? August 28th? No, August 28th. Tuesday, August 28th, 2018. And as you know from previous episodes of the podcast, if you are a long-time listener, I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. Like, I love Monster Hunter. I've been playing Monster Hunter for a very long time, ever since it was on the PSP. And then I went back and played the PS1, or the PS2, or like first Monster Hunter that was here in the States. I don't know if it was the very first Monster Hunter, but I know it was the first one here in the States. I know that for sure. It was on the PS2. I went back and played it, and it's shown a lot of improvement since then to just the PSP version. And then I've just been playing Monster Hunter ever since. The only Monster Hunter game I hadn't put a lot of time and effort into is Monster Hunter 3, because I got it for the Wii, and then I put like a little bit of time into it. Just what that was also like my first up to date Monster Hunter. And at the time I was just like, I wasn't too interested in it. I wasn't like, oh my god, Monster Hunter 3. I just played it, like I played it casually, but other than that one, I played the other ones quite frequently, and this one I'd have to say I've played the most. Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate I've played the most, and it is a good game. Well, between Monster Hunter Generations on the 3DS and Generation Ultimate on the Switch, those are the two that I've played literally the most. Between those two games, I've synced almost 200 hours into one character, because I just transferred Generations to Generation Ultimate. I'm still on the same character from Generations. But moving on, if you guys don't know what Monster Hunter is, Monster Hunter, for maybe the listeners that just don't know what it is basically a game where you are a hunter, quote on, what a surprise. You're someone who has been hired to hunt monsters. Pretty short and simple. You run around, you kill monsters, you carve those monsters, and then you create some amazing new armors and weapons out of them. Some of them you might like. It is a very, very, very grindy game. Don't get me wrong. It is beyond grindy. Like, holy shit. Goddamn, that is exactly why I have so many hours in the game, is because you literally grind. Like, there's some days where there's one monster I grinded 2 days just to build its armor set and its weapon, just because there's no guaranteed drops. There's percentage drops with all the monsters, so sometimes some things just take a little bit longer to drop. Like, they have a low percentage rate, like a 6% percentage drop. So you hunt and hunt and hunt. Sometimes you get lucky, you get on anywhere between the first and the third, and sometimes you gotta wait a while and you might get it on maybe like the 10th or the 11th or 12th. Some people, that's very, like, that turns them off really hard to Monster Hunter, but besides that one aspect of the game, I love the game so much. I love everything about it. I love its mechanics. I love its art styles and everything like that, which art styles will play we'll play into a part I'm going to talk about in a second. So we'll get back to the art style in a second, but its sound, its music. I literally have the Monster Hunter theme as my phone ringtone for when people call me. That's how much of a Monster Hunter fan I am. I'd have to say it's probably my new. Sorry, something was weird next to my desk. It's probably my favorite franchise. It used to be Halo, but after Halo 5, I'm sorry, I can't do Halo anymore. Like, they've disappointed me so hard. I still haven't even beat Halo 5. If that means anything to you. The game is really amazing. It is awesome. It is, for the longtime veterans, it definitely gives that nostalgia to the players, to the veteran players, who are just like, oh my god, I remember fighting someone on this map. I remember when this monster first came out, everything like that. So it is definitely interesting, and you're just like, oh my god, yes. So, and then also another thing about the game that really, really, like, speaks to me, or like really, like, gets me where I'm just like, yes, is the fact that you can fight with fucking cats. Like, that's awesome. I mean, like, obviously the people, like, this is something that I know and I've known for a while, but for the people that don't know, you get to fight with fucking cats. Like, they are your companions. They fight just as hard as you. I've grinded my cats so hard that they can single-handedly finish a fight. Like, no problem. Like, I could go off, maybe, like, sharpen my weapon, and they'll kill the monster, and I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, I'll just carve it real quick. So, I love it. I love the game a lot. Now, I know what you're thinking. For the people that do know, that Monster Hunter World also came out probably like a year prior to it, or a year and a half prior to Generation Ultimate. Now, with the difference between World and Generation Ultimate, there is a lot of differences between the two. There's a lot of good things I like about World and prefer about World, and there's a lot of things I prefer about Generation. Now, with World, it is definitely one of the biggest differences is its graphics. Now, like I said, that's going to be part of something that is very important. With the graphics, a good difference between the two is Worlds, they have better, because it's on like PS4, PC, and Xbox One. Those graphics are a lot better, and they are just a lot, the monsters just look a lot better. in the game and everything like that. The open worldness is just, it looks a lot better. But one thing that I noticed last night in comparison with Generation Ultimate is some of the monsters really blend in with their background of, like, say, where they're fighting at. And that is, to me, that I don't like that. I don't like that the monster can blend in and and just like deceive my eye a little bit. Like, it's not too bad to the point where I'm like not noticing the monster. There's just small moments where I can't tell exactly, like, depth wise where the monster is. Like, the lines aren't too fine. And I have a 1080p like TV that I play World on, so I don't have a 4K, sadly. But at 1080p, like, you think that the monsters, like the graphics would be that good to the point where I'm not having that issue where it's a complaint to me. Well, it is a complaint to me, and I don't like that. It's really annoying to me. Like, the monsters, they're dark. They still look great. Don't get me wrong. They still look amazing. But like they're just really dark. Some of them, like I said, with the areas you go fight them on, they just kind of like blend in, and that's really annoying to me. Like with Generations, the monsters are very colorful, and like I've yet to run into a monster that, if you're not paying attention, like, unless it's part of the mechanics to literally go underground and like have a little part of it sticking out to where it's supposed to blend in with the background and make it like hide, then I haven't ran into a situation where the monster literally, like, if I first walk into the area, I'm not going to not see the monster. Every monster I've seen in World, there's actually been a couple times where I have like entered, like, I'm looking for the monster, and then like I don't notice it until I hear the music go woo, and then boom, there's the monster. I'm just like, oh, didn't even see you over there. I've yet to run into that situation. And another huge difference between Generation and Ultimate, I don't want to talk too much about that because I want to get to the Nintendo Direct stuff, but I'm just going to, slightly touch on stuff like that, is with the maps in World, the entire map opens up. With Generation Ultimate, it's only one section at a time. Now, that's something with Worlds, that I would prefer with Worlds over Generation Ultimate. Only because it gets really annoying to every area. Every time you want to go to a new area, you gotta wait for it to load. And like sometimes the monsters will hit you with that knockback, and it'll be just barely enough to force you to go into a different area, so it's gotta load the new area. Then you have to turn around and go back to the other area, and then you gotta wait for a load. So you're watching 2 loading screens in a matter of like 10 seconds. And that's really annoying. So that's one thing I kind of wish that Generation Ultimate picked up from World. Granted, it is also 2 different teams and 2 different mechanics. Another big thing that I have to complain about between Worlds and Ultimate is with Generations, the skills. That is a huge thing with me. With Worlds, it's kind of so like, hey, I'm going to get this gem, and it automatically gives me my attack boost, or it automatically will give me, thunder resistance. With Generations, you have to accumulate a total points of 10 points to get your skills. Like, I've noticed that, like, I could be wrong, and it could be only like certain things with Worlds, but for the most part with World, if something says it has that skill, it has that skill. And it's really annoying to me, because in Generation I have to grind a whole lot more to get different parts, or to get different items, different parts, and make sure like this will give me like the X amount of points I need to reach that 10 marker to at minimum gain the skill. It's a lot more, like I said, it's a lot more grinding, and in Generation I feel a lot more accomplished in Generations than I do in World, and it gives me that little extra push that I'm just like, yes, I did this. And then also the final thing I want to touch on is the amount of monsters. Now, yes, Worlds, before I go into it, World is adding like a new monster a month, like a brand new monster a month. We're up to 3 new monsters now. We got the Teostra, Lunastra, the Behemoth. I think that's it. Oh, and the Koltaraf. I know I was missing something. Yeah, those are I'm going to go back. the Lunastra, the Behemoth, the Kolftaroth, and there's one more that I'm missing. I'm totally blanking, but we're like one more monster was added besides those. Well, when it comes back, I'll say it. But yes, the amount of monsters with World, there's only maybe, like I've said this before, there's only maybe like 20 to 30 monsters. 20, like it doesn't, like I think it's actually no. I can look this up real quick, but there's not like there's a huge monster difference. How many monsters? And wait, hold on, I messed up. How many monsters are there on Monster Hunter World? Let's see. There are 31 large monsters, both old and new, and 17 small monsters. So that is only 48 monsters total. In Generations, there are 93 monsters, and I'm pretty sure... Now I'm going to double check this real quick. There are 93 large monsters in Monster Hunter Generations. There's 20 more, and that's 20 more than Generations, 18 more than 4U, and 60 more than Worlds. That is a huge difference. Now there's 93 large monsters. I want to make sure that's apparent. There's 93 large monsters in Generation Ultimate. There's only 31 large monsters in World. Now that is a huge difference. And that is another reason why I prefer Generations, is I like to be able to fight a bunch of different monsters. I prefer having to fight a plethora of monsters and not having to repeat a bunch of monsters. Like, yes, there is the low rank, high rank, and G rank in Generations, but in World there's only low rank and high rank. So I don't want to have to fight like the same like 10 main monsters with like a couple side monsters that I don't really have to give a shit about. And that's really annoying to me, because then you could, like, yeah, you can have your staple main monsters, like with Generations, the Macau, the Royal Ludroth, excuse me, oh my god, and, what the hell is that thing called, the Macau, Royal Ludroth, and I'm drawing a blank here, what the fuck is the name of that monster, I'm told the Nargula or Nargula. Anyways, it's a big snake fucking monster that throws its scales, and the scales explode. But yeah, they have their staple monsters that between all three ranks you're gonna have to fight it. And that's fine. I totally get that 100%. I totally get you need your staple monsters that you're always gonna fight to get a base line or a base idea of what the monster is going to be like that you're going to face. And then also they're like, hey, in low rank you're not going to fight like a Plesioth or a Lavazeoth and stuff like that. Or like, you're not going to fight a Narskala or something like that. But hey, now you're in high rank, so now we're going to throw a Plesioth at you. You have to fight. We're going to throw a Lavazeoth at you. We're going to throw a Narskala at you. And you're going to be like, oh my god, I haven't fought these things before. Or you're going to be like, hey, here's a high rank Zamtrios that you had the option to fight in low rank, but you didn't have to. But now you have to. Stuff like that. They have the option to swap in and out monsters that are mandatory to fight. Legambi, that's the other one. That's the fourth one. They got like 4 staple monsters that you fought every rank. But yeah, they throw in tons of different monsters that you are going to be forced to fight at some point or another between like the two differences. Like, your low rank staples are also like your staple monsters. You're going to have to fight your staple monsters and all 3 ranks. And like, I don't see tempered monsters as an excuse to say, hey, let's throw in, stuff like that. Like, I don't see it as an excuse to throw in more monsters. Like with G rank, yes, they have a such thing called hyper monsters in that game. They're not tempered, they're called hyper. But at the same time, they also have monsters that you can only fight in the hyper or in the G rank, like the Valstrax, which is a new Elder Dragon. But yeah, that's just like, you're not gonna fight a Valstrax in low rank. You're not gonna fight it in high rank. They're gonna save it for like the online Monster Hunter fights like the hub, your online hunter rank, they're going to save that for G rank because, hey, we want to save this big bad monster as a, you know, as a high rank monster, an up there monster. But hey, you can fight all these things and prep yourself up to it. Not obviously, well, excuse me. Obviously, they're going to save monsters up until the point like they're not even like they won't even give you the chance to fight it until you hit that point, which is awesome. Unfortunately, World doesn't do that. They have you fight, a high rank or a low rank Anjanath. And that Anjanath is going to also be in the high rank. And then you're going to have to fight a tempered high or a tempered Anjanath. I'm sorry, like you can only use the same 31 monsters so many times throughout the game. 93 monsters, yeah, they're going to say like, okay, you can fight a high rank version of it, but who gives a fuck? So yeah, it's just stuff like that that really bugs me. And then also, something that really bugs me that I literally just thought of, with the amount of monsters in World, they're also limited to what those monsters can and can't do. Which means like they have to designate, oh, this monster is going to have to be designated as the ice monster since there's no true ice monster. Like and like almost every monster in that game, their weapon is a fire damage, or at some point or another will do fire damage. Like there's like 2 or 3 fire damage monsters. There's some monsters that just do neutral damage. There's like a ton of monsters that do neutral damage. There's a majority of the monsters do fire damage at some point or another. And there's not too many water damage monsters. There's not too many electric type monsters. I think there's only like 2 monsters that do for sure they do electric damage, which is the Kirin and Tobi Kadachi. So it's really annoying with those things like that. But moving on, because I've spent on this for probably, I think, like 15 minutes now. Anyways, moving on, like I said, I personally prefer Generations Ultimate over World. I mean, obviously, everyone has their own opinion and everything like that. A lot of opinions that I've heard for reason why they prefer Worlds over Generation is because Monster Hunter World was their first Monster Hunter game, and or it was their first Monster Hunter game that they put an insane amount of dedication into. A lot of my friends it's either World is their first game or like World, they just prefer Worlds because they put so much time into it. And it's like, I get it, everyone has their personal choices and everything like that. Like they have their personal choices and everything like that, so I get it. But me personally, Generations Ultimate is amazing. And then, like I said, I also want to talk about the Nintendo Direct. I don't want to go crazy into it, just because of time and everything like that. I don't want to go crazy over my time. But I'm going to hit on some highlights that really, really got me, and I was like, oh my god, yes. Luigi's Mansion 3. They opened it strong with Luigi Mansion 3. That is awesome. I'm really happy with that. They're finally making a 3rd Luigi Mansion, and it looks like it's actually going to be one that's reminiscent of the original Luigi's Mansion, because yes, there was Luigi Mansions 2 on the 3DS, the Dark Moon or something like that. I don't know, I didn't play it. I heard about its release, and then that's it. Then I heard, oh, it's out, and then nothing else. Like, no one said it was good, no one said it was bad, and then I finally met someone who actually played the game, and they're like, yeah, dude, it's garbage. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to take your opinion on it because I haven't heard anything about it except for your opinion. So that means something. Like, if it was a good game, then people would have been like, yo, play the second Luigi's Mansion. But the biggest thing that I noticed about the second Luigi Mansion is that they didn't have the specific monster or the specific ghosts. Like in the first one, there was like the human-shaped ghost, like the baby ghost, the dancing couple ghost, the dog ghost, stuff like that. In this one, I've noticed that in Luigi's Mansion 2, like I said, that's not there. Everyone looks like the basic ghost. They're just, hey, look, this ghost is bigger. And then there's this Luigi's Mansion 3 that actually looks like they're taking shape of ghosts. Like, yeah, you're going to have your basic ghost. But looks like there's actually going to be, like, the shaped ghost where you're like, oh, this is supposed to be a boss because they're actually a shape. They're actually a something. That's cool. That's awesome. I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Another thing that I wanted to touch on is Game Freak. They're going back to their roots in a way, because originally Game Freak, they did put out their. Before I get into it, Game Freak's putting out an RPG game for the Switch. Not only are they going to create a Pokemon game, they're also going to create an RPG, an actual fighting RPG. It's called Town. They didn't release too much information on it, but it does look amazing, and it's going back to their roots when Game Freak did make actual RPG games, not Pokemon RPG. So I'm excited for this. It comes out in 2019. A lot of the games on there, they are coming out 2019. But at the same time, I'm excited. That makes me hopeful for 2019. We also got a lot of other games that were announced. We got a new Yoshi game. We got what the fuck was a new Animal Crossing, which is a big title. That's awesome. Animal Crossing's coming out in 2019. I'm not an Animal Crossing fan. I just haven't been one for a while. But I'm excited. I'm happy for everyone else who's happy. Another thing that I'm really fucking excited for, like something that really got me excited, was their Final Fantasy. Yes, they have the Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition on the Switch, but it shows that they wanted to put Final Fantasy on the Switch. Yes, it's not the inferior, amazing graphical looking game, but it's still the same story and still everything else. So if you want to play Final Fantasy 15, you can play the Final Fantasy Pocket Edition. It is 10 chapters. I have it for the Xbox One, and I'm pretty far in the game. Granted, I only paid $2 for it, but my biggest reason why I never finished the game was because I couldn't take it anywhere. Like, I played the shit out of the game for like the first week I got it, and then like I slowly lost interest in the game, and then it went to a point where I touched it every once in a while. Granted, I only paid $2 for the game, but it's still a great game. For what I played, it is a beautiful looking game and it's an amazing game. So I don't know, I might pick up the Pocket Edition because I'll be able to take it with me. But that's, I'm still playing Generation Ultimate, so I don't know if I'll have time for other games. I don't know if I have time for, Final Fantasy. I don't know. I might take a break from Monster Hunter after once I hit a certain point in the game. I might take a break from Monster Hunter, pick up some other games, maybe get a whole new game for October to take with me. Because I got a couple of things going on. I'll end on some amazing stuff coming on, like the amazing things I'm going to talk about in a second. But yeah, no, I might pick up. I'm definitely going to put it on my list of games to pick up when I get the chance. It's, as of right now, when I saw it was only like $18. It was on sale in the eShop, and it's a $30 game for the Switch copy of the Pocket Edition, which I still think that's very well worth it. So I might, like I said, I'm gonna put it on my list of games to pick up eventually. I might look for a physical copy because I love picking up physical copies of games. I used to not like physical copies, but now I love physical copies because it just makes your collection look nice. It gives you something really nice to put out. Granted, you gotta find the space for that, but it's like that. But still, there's still more Final Fantasy news. We're getting Final Fantasy 7. We're also wait, is it 7? Pretty sure it's no. We're getting Final Fantasy 10, which is awesome, and Final Fantasy 10-2, I think it is. I don't know. I'm gonna look this up real quick. This is I kind of want to make sure I say this. Final Fantasy Switch. That is IGN. I don't really like IGN, but it's a good shit. Yeah, we're getting Final Fantasy Maxima in November 6th. We're getting the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon Everybody in winter of 2018 or 2019. We're getting Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age in 2019, and then we're also getting Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 10. Oh, 7, 9. Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm doing my numbers right. We're also getting 7, 9, 10, and 10-2 HD remastered in in 2019. Also, we're getting Final Fantasy. This is something I'm really fun. This is what I was super excited for. Like, as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh my god, yes. And the big kabang, or like the big thing that just got me super duper excited with, is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Yes, that game got me so fucking hyped. Holy fucking shit. Like, so, for you people that don't know what Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is, originally it was on the GameCube. It was released. It was a Final Fantasy game that included, it was one of the first Final Fantasy games that included local co-op on it for the GameCube. But what they did, they put a cool twist on it. They made you needed the Game Boy, you needed a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance SP with the cord or whatever, the GameCube cord that plugged into it, and that was the second controller. It gave a map, allowed a second person to play with you, so basically a little brother mode. But it was still fucking cool, dude. Like, I remember, it is my very first introduction into Final Fantasy. And I played it with my brother, dude. It was awesome. I loved it. I was so happy when we finally got that cord, so I can plug my SP into it, because Christmas, like years ago, my actual introduction into video games, he got a GameCube and I got a Game Boy Advance SP, which was awesome. And that's kind of like what secured portable gaming for me, was getting that for Christmas, and I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why I love portable gaming. But yeah, no. Crystal Chronicles coming to the Switch. That game is amazing. I never finished it just because by the time my brother had gotten it, he had sold his GameCube, so I never got to finish it, which was very sad. I was really upset. Like, yeah, I could just ROM it, but I could go bust out my old GameCube in storage. I want to put my game systems on display, but that's a lot of fucking work. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, no, that was like the coolest announcement that I think I was super excited for. Yes, it's awesome that we're gonna get Final Fantasy Maxima. We're gonna get the Chocobo, Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. We're gonna get Final Fantasy 12. Yes, 12. Sorry, Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age. We're also gonna get the remaster HD versions of 7. What is it? 7, 9, 10, and 10-2. But that Crystal Chronicles, dude, that's what fucking did it for me. That's where I was just like, fuck yeah, dude. Yes. I was excited. I was super duper excited. That was awesome. That made my day right there. Yeah, there was so many things that just got me. With that entire, that Nintendo Direct, that was just, I'd have to say that's what, put Nintendo over the top for me. And I was super duper excited. I'm still super duper excited for it. Final Fantasy, you're going to be my shit in 2019. Because we're nearing the end of this. We're in the end of 2018. And don't worry, guys. You will be getting an end of the year podcast. The end of the year gaming podcast. And I just wrap up everything, and all my gaming history moments of 2018. Just things I want to reminisce about. So look forward to that. And one final thing I want to end on. It's a personal thing that I just want to say that I'm really excited for. Is in October I can guarantee you this right now. If I do get on a regular schedule by October, which I'm hoping I do, I only got 2 weeks left. But when I do get myself on a regular schedule in October, I might have to, October 10th or whatever, I'm leaving. I'm going to Vegas to go with my girlfriend. I'm going to Vegas for her birthday. We're going to go see Ozzy Osbourne. We're going to Vegas. It's going to be cool. I'm excited. I'm really excited. That's why I kind of want to pick up a new game to take with me. So I'll have something to do on the plane, because we're taking a plane. I'll have something to do on the plane. I'll have something to keep me occupied in my downtime while we're there. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've never been to Vegas. I'm not a gambler. I'm literally just gonna, I'm gonna take $50 with me, and I'm gonna call it my gambling money. I'm gonna go to the roulette table, and I'm gonna throw $50 on red, and that's gonna be the extent of my gambling. That entire thing. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I don't care. It's a 50-50 shot, red or blue. Red or black. So that's what I'm gonna do when I'm down there. So I'll let you guys know if I win. But that's in October, so we still got a couple more weeks before that comes up. So that's where I'm going to end it. That's where I'm going to end the podcast this week. So hopefully I'm uploading next week. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I want to get on a regular schedule. I'm shooting for Mondays. I'm liking the Mondays because I can usually record on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, hopefully. And, that'll allow me to talk about my entire week. I can literally, because I used to do like last week, what happened last week. In some of my old episodes, you can listen and hear that. But yeah, no, it's just, and I used to do Overwatch League coverage, but I got off with uploading, so I couldn't do it. And I would try to doesn't matter. It's in the past. It's old episodes. Who gives a shit? But hopefully next week I'm uploading again, and I'm shooting for Mondays. I'm trying to shoot for Mondays just because they seem a lot more interesting, a lot more relevant, and makes the point up, makes it kind of like a Monday morning podcast basically, or a Monday lunchtime podcast, whatever you want to fucking call it. Whenever you're fucking listening to the podcast, I still appreciate you and I love you very fucking much. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and or listening to this week's episode of the podcast. If you enjoy what you're listening to, and or watching, if you enjoy what you're listening to, you can check me out on Audioboom, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, or Spotify. I think I said YouTube twice. But as you're checking out all those websites, all those places, obviously you can search the Voidcast, or you can search Old School Duelist 12. I don't know. All of them are different in different places. Searchable, faster searchable stuff. It's different searches search faster. Most of you can either search the Voidcast or you can search Old School Duelist 12. I've been trying to get into streaming. I have not had the time to get into streaming. But when I do stream, it's over on twitch.tv/OSDuelist12. I stream on Facebook sometimes. It's usually chill things, like a chill Zelda game. I think I started playing Zelda Wind Waker on there because I haven't played it. It's usually just chill late night, what's up? I'm gonna do a dungeon, or get to a certain point where I'm just tired. But I usually stream over there. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/OSDuelist12. You can like me. You can leave us. You can leave the page. You can post on my wall. I will respond almost instantly. If not, it'll be a few minutes. But I will respond. You can also hit me up on Twitter. You can also hit me up on Twitter, twitter.com. You don't have to do all that. But you can find me on Twitter at OSDuelist12. You can tweet at me, tell me about the show, tell me you love it, tell me you hate it, tell me that I need to do this to improve it, make your listening and experience way better. But thank you guys, and have a wonderful, beautiful night, day thing, or whatever.
We'll be right back.